welcome back to Harrison Family Farm. It is, what day is it? Sunday. And I'm happy to report that I finally got my piece in for my weed eater. If you guys remember from the previous video, kind of shared with you guys that I was a bit frustrated, but it has finally come in. And so I just wanted to share that with you guys. And so hopefully now I can clean up around the house and a few other areas that I need to get. But yeah, guys, I'm really excited about this, and I'm hoping this fixes my problem. If not, the only other thing that I can think of that it might be is that my fuel lines might be bad. I might have a leak or a hole or something like that. So I don't know. We're going to take it one step at a time. So I'm going to go ahead and get this installed, and then we'll go from there. Well, I know that line's not leaking. Okay, she's installed. Go ahead and prime it. Okay, moment of truth. Back in business, baby. So happy to know that that worked. It was successful. It was fairly easy. Everything else looks good to go. Getting some burning. I don't know. I'll look down there and see if maybe some oil got on it somehow. I did have it upside down for a minute. I don't know if you guys heard that Angela just screamed. TJ's probably giving her the blues. But yeah, so happy this is back in service. I got a few runs to make, and I'll check in with you guys a bit later. So it is actually several days later now. As you guys saw, I was able to get the Weedeater up and going, and so it was running great. I was able to actually get the front and backyard cut, which thank God, because it was long overdue. But one thing I did run into is that I ended up breaking the head on my Weedeater. Now, I have since fixed it, bought a replacement. I was able to get like a universal one from Lowe's. No, did I get it from Lowe's? Yeah, I got it from Lowe's. I just kind of mixed up there for a second because I was actually on a hunt for a second because I went to one Lowe's. They did not have it or nothing like it. And then I thought I found it at Ace Hardware. I was wrong. And so I actually did some research online and was able to find it at another Lowe's. So yeah, I did get it from Lowe's. And actually, while I was there, I got an additional head too. This one's got some blades on it. If you guys recall the last few videos I've been mentioning, there's an area that I want to get the goats to, but I wanted to cut a pathway for me to walk through and also for the fence to run through to do so. So I think that head that I was able to get while there is going to allow me to do so. So I'm really excited to try it out. But in the meantime, I actually got some more just random weed eating to do around here, just because, like I said, that my old head gave out on me. But anyway, guys, what I'm actually working on right now is getting the tractor up and going. If you guys I say up and going, you guys know it runs and stuff like that, but I came out here today and found that it would not start. And so I'm thinking that's due to a low battery. And so I just got the battery hooked up to it. Now it's been charging probably 30 minutes or so. That's probably actually more than enough, because I can't imagine it being too dead. But in addition to that, I've been doing some welding too. If you guys notice, I reattached this yet again for the umpteenth time. I did do a different approach that I guys mentioned to you before. When I repaired it this time, I was going to do it differently, and so I did, which was essentially, instead of just taking this shaft and putting it around here and welding around the perimeter, I actually offset it a bit and then built up material from here to here and then connected it. So it's all one big weld down here. Now, if it fails this time, I'm going to blame it on my horrible welding skills, not so much as my approach. And so if it doesn't work this time, I'm just going to take it to somebody and get it done. The only reason I'm not doing it at this time is just because I'm kind of in a time crunch. Just so you guys can see, this is what the lateral fill looks like. This is what I use. This is what I use the brush hog for to cut. And so it's just really, really just terrible right now. And I have a sneaking suspicion that if I were to take that part to someone and have them weld it, it's not going to be a same day type of thing. So I'm kind of in a time crunch, so to speak. At least I want to get this knocked down. If it fails on me this time, no big deal. I'll just get it done the right way. But I want to go ahead and get this stuff knocked down. And while I was out here working on the tractor, I was out here doing just some adjustments on these bars. I don't know that I've ever mentioned it to you guys, but with these brush hogs, sometimes they tend to sway a lot back and forth. And one of the reasons I need new back tires is because of this type of stuff happening. And what essentially happens is this support bar is wandering over when I turn and grabbing these treads. And so a lot of times it picks up the brush hog and slams it back down to the ground, which makes for uneven cuts and obviously just horrible wear on my tire. So hoping I got that adjusted a bit. I don't know that I've got it adjusted enough to fix it completely, but if I can at least alleviate some of the strain that when I'm turning, when that brush hog swings, from all that strain being on that tire. But outside of that, guys, not too much been going on. I'm gonna kind of get my mess cleaned up here, and I'm gonna see if I can get this tractor started, which I'm pretty sure is gonna start. And at which point I'm gonna go ahead and get some air in the tires, get the brush hog lifted up. And that was actually, sorry, let me back up a bit. That's actually how I come to find out that the battery wasn't working, because as you see, I got the pivot wheel welded up and it's ready for install, but it's too low currently for me to install it. So I went to start the tractor to lift the brush hog deck, and I couldn't get anything out of it. So hoping by now that it's got enough juice to go ahead and start on up, and then I'll let the alternator charge the battery from that point. But it does make me curious as to why is it dead? Just because, I'm not leaving any lights on or anything like that. But I guess that's going to be a curiosity to solve on a different day. One thing I did want to add, guys, if you guys recall, last time I worked on this pivot wheel, maybe a few videos ago, I went about putting grease in it last. And so that is something I'm going to do different this time. I'm going to put a fair amount of grease in here in this hole, and then I'm also going to put a fair amount of grease on that shaft as well before I put it in there. Try to make it as easy to pivot as possible, and that way hopefully taking off as much stress of that pivot, undue stress, I'll say it like that. Hopefully you're alleviating any undue stress from that pivot wheel that doesn't need to be there, and that way it can do its job and hopefully last for us. But let me see if I can get it started. pretty much as expected, guys. It's a good running machine. I don't have too many problems out of it. Just seems like I got some type of battery issue. Hopefully my alternator's not going bad on me, just because I think I'd have a hard time finding one given the age of that machine. But now that I got it started, I'm gonna go ahead and lift up this brush hog deck. Well, no. Now that I got it started, I'm gonna run a while I go ahead and grease these parts up, and then I'm gonna get that brush hog deck lifted up and get our pivot wheel installed. I think that should be enough grease. Gotta go up some more. She's on there. Work some of that grease in there a little bit. So that's pretty much gonna do it for that. Now I do need to put a pin. Sorry, you guys probably can't see, but there's a hole right here, right there, and this to allow a pin to go in here to keep the wheel in place. So I'm gonna try to find me a pin. If nothing else, I'll take a nail and bend it in there, and that way that pivot wheel won't come off of there. All right, guys. So found me a nail, and I'm gonna just put it through. This head is gonna work as a keeper on one end, and then I'm gonna bend this opposite end, and I'll just show you guys. Where'd my hole go? There it is. And that should be good. It's not going to back out. That's great. All right, guys. So I got that in, but I'm actually going to do a bit of a change up in my plans. I'm going to hold off on putting air in the tractor tires. And the reason for that, it's going to take me a bit to cut the grass. And so before I get started doing that, I actually want to do something else, just because I'm going to go in the house here in a minute. Just to hang out with TJ for a second. He goes to bed around 7. And so I don't want to get tied up cutting that grass and forget and just lose track of time, essentially. So I'm going to hold off on doing that just a moment. And in the meantime, what I'm going to do is help our good friends, the cows, out. I've actually run out of hay, unfortunately, and I've been reaching out to people, but I haven't gotten a response back yet. But I ran out of hay. But as you guys know, the hey, dude, the cow pen, or the other pen next to where I keep the cows have not been on for a while, and so there is just some grass that has grown up in here. And the only reason I've kept them off of this grass is because that post that fell. Duke, hush! That post that fell a few weeks ago. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this piece of fence that I got, and let me show you the piece of fence that I have right here that's blocking them from getting in here. I'm actually gonna take that down and move it over here where this post has fallen, right here in the center. And I'm gonna take that fence and stretch it from that post to there's another post behind this tree here. And that way they'll have access to this. Now, by no means is this gonna save the day. It's not gonna be much, but it'll keep them occupied for the evening, and hopefully I'll have better luck come tomorrow. Now, as you guys can see back there, the bigger field that I have for them, it's still working on recovering. They've been off of it probably, I want to say, as long as I've had these bales, so maybe 2 or 3 weeks. But the only thing about it is we haven't gotten much rain, so the grass hasn't performed very well. Actually, what you can see is a result of our most recent rains here in the last week or so. And so if you guys can kind of tell, man, that zoom is really good. But because I have not moved, I'm just zooming in. But if you guys can tell, the grass hasn't grown much at all. So I'm actually hopeful that we'll get some rain here soon, just to help out with the grass growth. But we shall see. I had seriously and honestly entertained the thought of maybe running hose down there and just, watering it regularly. Because if I really think about it, the front end would be, possibly a slight increase in the water bill versus the hay that you buy, So whether I want to spend it on the water to get my own grass to grow or spend the money buying hay. So I don't know. I'm still thinking about it and what that looks like, because I don't have any kind of sprinkler system or any kind of automatic waterer, if you will, the little attachments that, that they sell at the store. So I think I'm gonna get a few tools, that way I can take this piece of fence down. And what else do I want to do? I think I need to weed eat the little area I'm gonna be working in. I don't think I'll weed ate over there. Is that how you say that? Weed eat it? Weed ate? Watch out, dude. I don't know. Y'all help me out. Let me know in the comments the proper way to say it. But I'm gonna show you what I'm talking about. I just want to make sure it's clear so it's easier for me to work, and I'm not stepping on no unsuspecting friends or anything like that. But this is what I'm talking about. I cut me a path through here, obviously, but I didn't cut right up in here. Did it with that little red riding mower I had. And so I'm gonna just get the weed eater, clear all this down. And like I said, I'm gonna take it from this post right here behind this tree to that post down there, put a few fence staples in it, and that should hold. I doubt the cows will try it. And plus there is a electric wire right there. I don't know if it comes through on camera right there. So I'm not, and then the old post being there. So I'm basically saying I think there's enough barriers there to prevent them from being curious or bothering it. So I think just running that piece of fence, a few staples, should hold it just fine. And then they can get whatever it is to get whatever there is to get in that area, and hopefully buy me another day. Really trying to, one of the things that contribute to what takes me so long to find hay sometimes is the distance. So I try to keep it, sorry, Duke. I try to keep it under about 40 miles one way. That way I'm just not burning up all my time driving, especially given the fact that I only can haul 3 bales at a time. So I kind of gotta walk that line of what's economical, what makes sense, what doesn't make sense. But yeah, guys, I'm gonna get what I need. Get the weeder to get that cut down, and that way I can go ahead and get started on getting the cows over there. All right, guys, so here's that fencing that we've been looking at that I plan to move. I believe it should be enough, if not more than enough. There's a bit road up there. So I'm gonna go ahead and get the fencing staples out that I got in them, and that way I can get it moved. There we go. Woo. Watch your step. All right, I think I'm gonna go ahead and put that bell ring in here just to keep them out until I'm actually ready for them. That way I can get this up without tripping or worrying about them getting in here. All right, that should be good. All right, guys, so got the fence in here. We got the cows blocked off. Now the thing to do is to get our fencing on the other side over here. And so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and turn our fence off. That way I don't have to worry about I'll turn our electrical fence off. That way I don't have to worry about this field fence grounding out on it as I attempt to get it over. So that's my next feat. I'll check back in with you guys. Go. She's all installed. And it really didn't take that much time at all, guys. So I'm gonna go back around, pick you guys up, move that bell feeder, and turn the fence back on, and then I'll let the cows over in here. All right, guys, fence is back on. Cows are in. You can see they're wasting no time getting after it. They know they are no stranger to grass. And so, like I said, this is not going to last them very long, but it gives them something. Hopefully buys me time through the night. And they can make it on this for the time being. So yeah, guys, I would say not too bad of a win. Didn't take me that long at all to get that set up. And it was something that was on my mind to do, but I wanted to keep it as kind of an ace in my back pocket, just in case things didn't go well as far as getting the hay. And so kind of one of those things I'm glad I did think in the way that I did, because it worked in my favor. So I'm actually going to take that break I've mentioned to you guys a moment about, go in here, holler at TJ. And I'm guessing if I'm up to it, if the sun's still up, once I get done with that, I'll come back out around the time that I'll feed the animals and probably start working on cutting that lateral field. But until then, guys, I'll check back in later. Hey guys, so it's actually now the next morning. My gimbal died on me, and so it was starting to get dark, so I didn't even worry about recording anymore. But I did want to share with you guys that I got done. I got it all cut. So I stayed out here last night, even a little bit in the dark, and went ahead and just cut everything. And I'm happy that I did, because now it is behind me. But also, as you can see, the pivot wheel didn't make it. And in fact, it quit on me pretty early. No worries though. I'm not gonna stress about it. Like I told you guys before, I'm either gonna take it to a welding shop and actually get it replaced right, or I found one online and I might just order it, because honestly it was like 30 bucks. So I don't know that I can have it welded for less than that. But yeah, guys, got her all cut down and pristine. But yeah, that's gonna wrap it up as far as me cutting this grass goes. About to actually get my day started this early morning Thursday, and so I'll check in with you guys a little bit later, but I just wanted to give you guys an update about how cutting went and how the brush hog pivot wheel fared. So now that you know, I'll check in with you guys later. Hey guys, so it is a lot later in the evening. As you can see, it's pretty dark out here, but I'm actually just making it back from getting some hay. As you guys can see, truck and trailer still tied up, truck's still running. Just getting back, and actually guys, I got a bit of a deal, kinda. So you guys know I normally get 3 bales of hay, but as you guys can see, I actually have 4. And the obvious thing with that is these bales are smaller, but I got them for about 30 bucks each. Well, no, I got them exactly for 30 bucks each. And so I'm not complaining at all. And so there they are, guys, all 4 of them. The cows were actually in pretty bad shape. They were completely out of hay, as I told you guys yesterday, and so I let them go into the other pen, and it is completely barren already. It's only been maybe 24 hours, I guess, since I gave them access to it. And I'll show you guys real quick just how, not that it was a whole lot to begin with, right? But I ended up having to go to Feldman's earlier and pick up some square bells just in case my plan to get round bells tonight didn't work out. And so you can see this right here. That's the remnants of that square bell I put in here. But look at it. There's nothing in here anymore. And that's just overnight. And I told you guys I didn't think it was going to last long. But gosh, that really went quickly. But guys, I just wanted to check back in and share those two things with you. Like I said, it's getting darker by the second, it seems. So I'm gonna go ahead and tend to what I need to do. I still haven't fed the animals or anything like that. It's been quite a busy evening. So guys, I appreciate you watching and tuning in. Be sure to like, subscribe, share, leave me a comment down below. I'd love to hear from you guys. And make sure that you guys are subscribed. As you guys know, we're on our road to 2,500, and so I'd love for you to be a part of the journey with us, guys. Until next time, peace.